Hello and good evening, wherever you're watching this interview from. I'm super excited, and as you can see on my right, have some fantastic guests tonight. Stefanos Ntouskos, Olympic champion and gold medalist in the single sculls. Hi, Stefanos.
Hello.
And with him, the super coach, the man who helped him to that Olympic gold medal and has helped many others to Olympic medals, World Championship gold, silver and bronze medals, consultant to many different countries, twice Visa Coach of the Year, Gianni Postiglione.
Hello to everybody, nice to see you, and thank you very much for your invitation, Martin. I know a lot of good people, athletes, coaches have been in this kind of interview. And I thank you, and I think Stefano too, to be here and to try to give you some answers to your question that I know will be very tough.
So just before we start, a thank you to the people who made this possible. Ludum, the sponsors, the training management and performance analysis tool for sports coaches and training groups. You can start the 30-day free trial by visiting ludum.com. So let's get straight into the questions. Stefanos, when did you realize that you could win an Olympic gold medal?
I realized this the last 300 meters that I feel so good my body and I have so much power to put in the finish. So I understand in the last 250, 300 meters that no one can pass me.
And before you went to the Olympics, what was your target? What did you think you would achieve?
My target it was to be in the final, and we discussed with my coach if I was be in the final. Everyone, it is possible, and medal, and my target it was that.
Wow. And Gianni, when did you realize that Stefanos was good enough to win a medal in the Olympics?
I had more confidence than him after the semi-final because it was very tough. No one of the two semi-final was easy because the strong crews were very well distributed. But I have seen that he was really managing well the regatta. And at the end of the regatta, I asked him, how do you feel? And he said, I feel well. I don't have any big problems. And I can manage well. I remember very well, he said, I can stay with them. Wow. So I remember very well this sentence that he said, I feel I can stay with them now. Because, we're 3 years, he tried to be with the best. And at the end, he said, I feel, I am with them. Maybe Stefano don't remember now, but I remember well. I was a little bit cooler than him. So after the semi-final, we was more conscious that we are among the first 4, 5, 6, because we know that we're very, very good and strong opponents in this competition. We have seen the previous Olympic was 2, 3 opponents, was Drysdale, Shinek, and Martin. Martin was a bit a surprise, but now really was tough. We have 3, 4 rowers exceptional in this competition, in my point of view.
Yeah. Gianni, what did you say to Stefano before he went out for his Olympic final? What was your advice? What was your talk to him?
Stefano, can I say this is a secret or?
No.
Okay, each race has his own strategy. We have studied I have studied all opponents, and I know that all of them are very, very stable on 2,000 meters. If you see the competition, they've done it, all 4 crews, the first 4 crews, they've been extremely stable. In the second 1,000 meters, all four they have a 320, except Nils that he has a 321. So the difference among the crews is the first 1,000 meters when Stefano attack and pass. I think this attack and pass was the key of the regatta, because at the end they were fast, all of them. They have the same speed.
Wow. So, Stefanos, how did you feel before your Olympic final? You had made it in a great performance in the semi-final, and you were moving fantastically well. How nervous were you before your race in Tokyo?
It was very, very good. I feel very good ending the semi-final. And after the semi-final, that I take the first place, I feel like I didn't race like that.
Really?
So I understand. Yes, I didn't give it my maximum. I didn't give it. So I
No.
understand that. Yes, and in the afternoon that when I do the kilometers, I feel to clean my body from the lactate. I feel very well. So I understand that the tomorrow in the final it will be very tough, and that I'm in a very good shape.
Were you more nervous for the semi-final or the final? Were you more worried for the semi-final or the final?
Uh, I didn't understand
You know,
very well the question.
yeah, I am sorry. I will. I was thinking, Gianni, can you help out the question?
Stefano, he means the race that you think was a more difficult one. Which race you was not so self-confident? You know, you have made the semi-final, as you said. I feel very well, and then we go to fight in the final. But before this race, which other race you start and you have some doubt on your performance? Is correct, Martin? Do you want to say this?
Yeah, yeah.
In the Tokyo, you mean?
Yes,
In
in the
Tokyo,
heat,
in the
in the
previous
heats
races,
or quarter of final.
in the
Where
heat,
quarter of
yes.
final? I think Martin,
Uh,
I have seen
I th
from outside. Please, Stefano, tell, please.
yes, I think from the heat, I start a very good step. In the quarter, I feel a little bit strange because from the humidity of Tokyo, it was very difficult to breathe after the 1,000 meters.
You were
And
second in the quarter.
yes, in the quarter, I was second, and I said to myself, I don't know how the semifinals goes. So in the semifinal, I said to myself that this is your race, and you must do it to go to the final. So, and in the semifinal, I feel better than the quarter and the heat. In the semifinal and the final, I feel better my body and my breathing. It was much better.
Wow. And did you sleep well the night before the final?
Yes, now I try to maintain it, and my coach tell me do not thinking your race in the evening because in the previous year I feel very anxious and I think in all that, and I cannot perform very well in my races. But now I feel it is something that I am in with the great rowers of the world, the best. So I'm in one of them. So I feel it like that. I don't feel that I'm not so good, and what can I do in the race?
So, how was it, Giovanni, for you? with the training program before the Olympics, because it must be the best training program you've ever written, because Stefanos' progress was like this.
Okay, first of all, I think it was mostly very good organization. Stefano can tell you, I didn't make any big changes because this is the usual program, but made a little bit in different way, because we must make some clarification. What is the training program? Are the usual models, but how you put the models in the program, they will have a different effect. I have a little bit kind of music parameters. You know, we have the notes, and with the notes we make the music. So the notes are always the same, but how you put on the pentagram the notes, we have a different music. And this is with the program. We have some models, and how we put these models in the week and in the month, we will have the effect. So in the last 2 years, I have made this change because I was forced for COVID. You know, COVID changed all planning, because we were ready to do the Olympic Games in 2020. And I can tell you, if Olympic Games was in 2020, for Stefano was too early. He could he could not perform like now, because he need 1 year more. And it's very bad to say with millions of dead people and a very big pandemic, but it works for his preparation and works for all young athletes. So we tried this program of this year in 2020, and we have seen that it works well. So we find the right music for him, and also for the girls was really good. So we have a really test of Olympic, the real test of Olympic in 2020, because if you remember, we cannot stop the preparation. The last communication was given at the end of the April in May. So, and you know, they were telling no, will be no qualification, will be based on the crews that they have been in the World Championship in lanes. So there was a lot of theories around it. And I said, okay, so you was the first not qualified, no, the second, because the Polish was be in front of him. Said, you are the second, but you could do it, you can be in. So it's better to think like we go to the Olympics, and we prepare like the Olympics. So I have seen all effect on him, on the girls. So we really have a very good parameters in 2020. And I said maybe next year we can try the same. Because, you know, it's important, don't make strange things in Olympic. This is my opinion. Some coach, they want to try, but I never try new things in Olympics. In Olympic, in my opinion, we must do less mistakes as possible. And I have seen in the final of a single, all finalists, they didn't make any mistake because they were perfect. For me, it was the perfect race.
Yeah.
So this is the program we have done. In the last 2 years, we make some adjustments on our pentagram to prepare the last part of Olympics. It works last year, and we organize very well the preparation in Tokyo. Also, this is one point that is important to say. And Stefano had the big problems with the breathing at the beginning because it's common with everybody. Because, you know, we cannot train on the race course before 18th of July. And this was a kind of handicap, but it's for all. So when we was there, we adapt. And I said to Stefano, you don't have psychological load on your shoulders. You have nothing to lose. All others, they are big names. They must defend their titles. So go there and do your best. No one will blame you. And it works.
Wow. So, Stefano, can you explain that year in 2020? What happened to you with the training? How come you got so much stronger? How come you got so much faster? Could you explain the things that changed for you?
Yes, I will try in every year after the 5th place in the European, that 2020. I try to listen my coach and all the directions, and to do the training with the best way that I can. To fight in every training, to give my better self, and to do some small steps to improving in this part that I'm not so well prepared. So I try to all this year, the previous year, to fight and to be, because I want it very well. I want to do it very well, to be with this name together, side by side, and to fight for a medal or to go to the Olympic Games. After that, I understand that I can be with them if I change some small things. So I work on them, and I try to do it in the best way.
Stefano, could you give us an idea, an example of some of those things you were working on, those small things? What was it that made a difference for you?
I try to change a little bit my technique, to give more speed with my back, and to do not cut all this, do not cut the finish, and to be more horizontal and better, because I feel it that the speed of the boat take more speed, know when you cut the stroke, when you finish very well with your body. So I try, this is one that I try to change it, and to feel better and more easier my stroke, in every stroke, to feel lighter.
Yes, I see. What changed for you between, and Gianni, you might have an idea of this, what changed for you, Stefano, between Lucerne in World Cup 2, where you came 7th, and the Olympics? Were you on a heavy training load in Lucerne, or did you make some big improvements between Lucerne and Tokyo?
Okay, Stefano, he qualified in Varese, and at that time I had a lot of problems with the crews that I have to qualify the Olympics. We have Stefano that he qualified in Varese. The woman pair was qualified in 2019, and I have another single woman with a double lightweight woman and a double man that they try to qualify before in Lucerne, in Varese, and they try in Lucerne. So imagine I have 3 group of rowers, but there are 3 crews in reality, that they have different needs. So imagine how complicated is the program for all of them. So I start with the woman pair, that they start a little bit later, the specific preparation for regatta. But after Varese, one girl, she get rib stress fracture, and this girl, she stopped for 2 months. So from after the European Championship until the middle of June, she cannot row. She had a big problem with her ribs. And so the pair, also the 2 girls, one was doing land training with a bike, another one she was in single, and very high tension. In the meantime, we have one girl that she tried to qualify in Varese, the third crew. She tried to qualify in Varese, and before the Olympic qualification, the continental, she went out in the water, and the water was 15 degrees. She was frozen, she was shaking, and she cannot perform in Varese, and she maintained this shock for a very long time. Imagine that she was 9 in final B in the European Championship. And I must rebuild her physiologically and psychologically. Stefano, after the European, I tried to give him some bread. And after this kind of partial recovery, he come back again and he started the preparation. So in reality, in Lucerne, he was not well prepared, because he was coming back from this downloading of preparation.
Yeah.
So he was not team. He lost some of his qualities, we can say, but it was planned because, I want to start the preparation with him after Lutzer. So he take it easy in Lutzer. He doesn't like it, but, and he try, as always, to be, how to say, in final. But at that moment, there was the two Lithuanians, Ritter and Grisgonis.
Yeah.
They were fighting like hell because they must demonstrate who will go in single to the Olympics, and the winner will go. So Solus, Ritter don't want to stay out of the final. So both of them, they were like highly motivated to go in final, and they were together with Stefano. So they pass because they have their business to solve. And Stefano said, okay, I don't feel well. And as usual for him, the problem of Stefano that when he's not focused 100%, he loses the technique. And when he loses technique, he spends too much energy. And this has been his mistakes in the previous year. To fight to be in front of the others, but he spent all he has. But the efficiency in Olympic was perfect. I can tell you, it was perfect. He has the right efficiency in all 2,000 meters.
Stefano, how come? Why are you so fantastic in rough water? Because the Olympics in the semi-final, the conditions were rough. The course was difficult, but you were amazing. Your blades were so clean.
Yes, this is because in Skinas that we are doing the preparation, the most of the days has waves, so we learn about to row in the waves. Because and I agree with my coach. I think the best rower is this rower that can row in everyone, and in the bad conditions and in the good conditions. So we try when we have bad weather in the Skinas to not to go to the ergometer and to do the program in the boat. So to learn about in the waves. In the Tokyo, when in the semifinals has the waves, I was prepared about this. So I know very well all that and to give my best.
Stefano, did you have technical exercises that Giovanni made you do? To improve your technique? Did he have many different exercises or drills?
About in the waves, you mean?
Yeah, or, maybe the waves, or maybe at the catch, or maybe the recovery. Any exercises? People would be interested to hear the kind of technical exercises that Gianni made you do.
Yes, one of the exercises in the balance when you are in the catch and to turn the blade 2-3 times. When you are in the catch, you turn the blade 2-3 times, and then you catch. Yes. Again, in the next stroke, you do it easy. The drive when you come in the catch, and then you stop in the catch. You have balance. You turn the blade 2-3 times, then you catch, and this is one of the exercises.
That's really tough, that one. Gianni, can you think of any other exercises that you would do with Stefanos?
But I think first of all, Stefano he has very good balance from the beginning, because Stefano he has a really good feeling for the single. And I have seen this from the beginning. In the past, he was mostly in sweep. In 2016, he was in Cox's 4 lightweight, and then I put him in pair, and then I put him in double with some seniors, because I am, when a rower is so tall like him, I'm not scared to put him in the senior category. I always I'm afraid to force athletes to lose weight. I never try. When Stefano said, Gianni, I want to try the senior category, I have been very happy when he said this to me. I never tried to convince him to go in the lightweight category. And I have done also with the sculler, the women's sculler. She asked me to be lightweight, and I strongly said to her, don't try, because you are too high, you are too tall for the lightweight category. I persuaded her to be in single, and she went in Olympic single. I think I give her very good advice. In the case of Stefano, as a lightweight and rowing in sweep, you need to balance the boat with another partner, because it's not like the scullers. From the balance point of view, the pair is much difficult than single, because in single you control both sides, in pair only one side. And Martin, you are expert of this. I'm not talking one very good expert of a pair and coxswain pair. So Stefano is from the beginning in single very good, and I was surprised because I was thinking for him for a double, and Stefano in 2019, I remember in June, he came to me and he said, Gianni, I want to try in single. I said, are you sure, Stefano? Because you have not the sights for single. No, Gianni, I want to try. And I said, okay, we tried. We don't pay nothing. And you will try with under 23 World Championship. And in that regatta, Stefano, he made the world record in the heat. I never seen one athlete that he make the world record in the heat, because he pull always maximum. He cannot stop him. This is his quality. He is one person that when he's in the boat, he want to win. That doesn't matter which race it is, he want to win. So it works well. So it's easy to make balance for him. And of course, when it's easy, you can do all kind of exercise, because for him it's possible to do it. But for other rowers with the problems, the exercise that before, and also others exercise, we have done it, some very strange things, like to leave the hands at the catch, put the blade in the water and wait the oars are coming to you. But there is huge fantasy of coaches around the world about the exercise for balance. And if you see the race of I'm sure you see the race, but Stefano is the longest senior in the final. His stroke is the longest one, and the others, and also in semi-final, all others, they were shorter than him. And how is possible that the one rower 186, 84 kilos is longer than people of 2 meters or 190? Wow. So because he has a very good quality of flexibility and balance, and this is natural. You can improve with exercise, but you need something, and he has it.
Stefanos, what is your 2K personal best score?
My personal best, it's 5:57.
5:57, and that's pretty good for 84 kilos.
No, it's pretty good for lightweight. Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Stefanos, maybe we should ask people are watching and asking questions, and Cam Keelty has asked what your experience was. What was it like going from lightweight to heavyweight? Was it hard to put that much weight on?
For me, no, in the beginning, because to be in the lightweight, I feel very difficult to be in this, because in 2016, when I drink a little bit water and to eat a little bit, I go 78 kilos.
No.
Like that. And to be again in the 70, it was very, very tough. So after the 2016, I said to myself, you cannot do any more in the lightweight category, because I cannot do it like that. And for me, after the lightweight category, I was in 80 kilos, like that. If I drink and I eat a little bit, so I was in these kilos. And after that, I work in these kilos, and now I'm 84 kilos, 84, 83. So it isn't something big, because my weight was this 78, 80 kilos. I cannot to be in the lightweight. I do not eat, and I cannot drink. So it was very tough.
So, what advice, Stefano, would you give to any person, a lightweight, thinking of making the change to heavyweights? What would be your advice to them? What would be your thoughts on what they should do?
For me, that I do it this, I think that nothing is impossible. So if someone can go for to 80 kilos, for example, from the 70, and he want to compete, I think nothing is impossible. So I understand this, because I see these people that they are 100 kilos, 95 kilos, 2 meters, 206, and I look them like that, and I say, whoa, these people, I cannot beat them with 540 in the ergometer and 537. And I said, I'm too far. But in reality, you are not too far. If you want it, and you fight for it, and you be tough in the training, everything, you can do it.
How important, Stefano, were the conditions, the tailwind conditions? Do you think in maybe next year or in a headwind condition you will find things more difficult? What's your thought on headwind, tailwind?
Yes, for me, the better is the tailwind, because I feel it. I'm not so heavy, and I cannot, in the headwind conditions, I might put more power than in the tailwind. So for me, the better way is the tailwind. But I work in the headwind, so I think the 2024 in Paris, I don't have problem ending the headwind.
Okay. Stefanos, I don't know if you've seen the Olympic silver medalist Chekel Borsch made a post on Instagram. And
yes, I saw it.
Somebody wants to ask you a question about the testing in Tokyo. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, I will put the question up. It's this guy called Ben the Orr. So Chetel Borsch was disappointed that there were no stricter doping controls in Tokyo. How did you experience that in the Games and the Olympiads? What are your thoughts?
Yes, about this, that I didn't understand this post that he's doing. It's about the doping control, that
Yeah, he said,
take it his medal in this when he's doing this with Red Bull.
yeah,
That's why
he made
he
two
put
posts.
it. Yes, he put it this post, and they take it his medal.
Yes.
But
What did you think of that?
I think yes, it's a little bit unfair. I agree with him, because about when you take one gold medal, for example, and you race with these people so much year, and you cannot pass them. If you pass them one time, maybe you want to show something, and he was. I think he's not doing. He's doing this with no thinking, because it's about to see the medal and to give to in the people to show what. And about that, he think the sponsor, for example, but he didn't realize that he was doing it.
Yes.
So,
and
yes.
I think Chetel also made the point that there was no testing of blood for. He had no blood tested after the final in the Olympics.
I think yes. the or I didn't remember very well because I was there to add the doping control, but I think me take it and blood and
Urine.
yes,
Urine.
Yeah.
yes.
Gianni, do you have any opinions on that? Have you seen what Chettle wrote?
I am not on Facebook. I am not on Instagram. But for what you said, okay, this area of anti-doping is not so nice because I don't want to think that people they don't do well in Olympics, especially the Japanese. They try to make perfect Olympic games, and for sure they follow the rules that WADA told them. They don't make any initiative. This kind of people. So if they made a control of blood of Stefano, and I don't know if it is necessary to do the doping control with the blood. What I know, the usual control is with the urine, and is enough because there are a lot of information through the urine. Eventually, from what maybe Borch is make confusion with the skiing, because in the skiing before they start from the races, they measure the hematocrit. If it's very high or they are more than 50, not participate in the competition. Maybe is, but I repeat, it's just an opinion. I cannot believe this honestly. But not because is not regular. It's because the Japanese they've been perfect in all rules. They follow the big manuals. It's strange. Something is strange. Maybe somebody was tired. They don't make a blood analysis to him. They make blood analysis to Stefano. Really, on this area, I listen his opinion, and this is his opinion. Maybe he should ask the WADA what's happened and why they didn't make blood analysis. I think this is the correct way for an Olympian to do. Going to the people and say, I have done this, I have seen this, why you don't act in the right way? And they can explain to him, because these people are very open. And for sure, they have nothing against him, for sure.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I kind of want to take you back to 2018, Stefano, because I have read in interviews and you have said that in 2018 you nearly stopped rowing. Your motivation was low.
Yes, I stopped in 2017, not in 18.
Okay.
Yes, in 2017, in the months that they were in the races in the summer, I stopped because I didn't find one crew to do something good, and I stopped these 3 months, and I get back in the 2018 again. So I didn't stop all year. I do the training. I was going to race in 2017, but in the last 3 months I didn't find anyone because I think to myself that I cannot do it in the single. So it's better to do it with another people. It's more easier. So I think that, and I stopped, and then I in 2018 I try with someone. We take some metals, and then this guy he stopped. Then again 2019 I start with someone, and then someone he stopped. So I said to myself, you must go to the single and to prove to anyone that you are good in this sport.
So it was fortunate for you that your partners stopped.
Yes, I don't know. Maybe because the training is very tough, and this is, I think, the rowing and the rowing programs is very tough, and this is not for all.
Yeah. Stefanos, I see you entered the under-23 championships many times. I think I counted them maybe 5 times.
Yes.
Why?
So, sorry, can you repeat it because I didn't hear very well.
It's not so normal to race in the under-23 championships 5 times. I think you have raced as an under-23.
Yes.
Why so
I
many?
raced so many times?
Yeah.
Because I was very good, and from the first time that I raced, I was 18 years old, and we have one good pair with another guy that after that in 2016 we raced in the Cox's 4 lightweight, and again after the Olympics we do in the lightweight men's pair in the Rotterdam, and we win the silver medal. We are very good in the pair, and yes, I raced all these years in the under 23 because I afraid to race in the senior category because I saw this that it's something that I cannot catch it because all these guys are in the very good level and very good from all these countries, and I feel that I cannot catch them. So I want to race in my category, but after that, that's why I tell to everyone, if something they wanted and they try for it, sometime the dreams came true. So I didn't leave my dream to pass away, and I try and I fight for it.
Gianni, Stefano's dream must have been important, but there were times when Stefano was in B finals or C finals, finishing, in 13th, in 16th place. As a coach, how did you keep your athletes motivated?
Okay, I want to go back a little bit for the under 23. Stefano, he has been under 23 5 times because he was a junior when he participated under 23. You should imagine the problem of a small country like Greece, where we don't have enough rowers for the national team. So I make a cruise with the juniors, with under 23. And when we went to the Olympics, we have also some senior lightweights in 2016. It was a mixture. Stefano, he was one of the youngest in this Cox's 4, because in Agbilate, we have in this boat four lightweight juniors. We participated with 4 juniors to try to qualify for Olympics. And we didn't, but for me, it was not just to try to go to the Olympics, because I know it was impossible. But I want to have an experience, because I know that they can go fast. And we don't select huge amount of people to be the national team. We select, but the word select is too big for the size of Greece. We have 30 clubs, and the people they participate to come in the national team are 20, 25. Among these 20, 25, I try to be very nice with everybody, and I select 16, 17, 18. So we are talking about small numbers. And for this reason, I want to try one Cox's 4 because I have 4 rowers for this boat. And I try to put one junior with the talent like was Stefano. So in my country, in Napoli, we say the art of arrangement. I try to do my best to fit the one crew. It's like a football team. There must be 11 and you have 8 people. So you find the 3 kids on the road, say, come with us, we need to make the game. This happens in small countries like Greece and many others in Europe. Is full of these countries like this. 30 clubs, totally 1,000 athletes in competition between junior B and the master category. So small numbers. Difficult to find the people, but they need to have experience, and under 23 is possible. So Stefano is part of this program. And now it's even more difficult to find these athletes because, they need to study, they need to go to the school, and there are a lot. It's quite complicated to invite this in this kind of program. But in Greece, the athletes, they give me maximum 8 years, included the junior category. So after the under 23, and the advice for lightweights is this: don't give up before the end of under 23 category, because these 4 years under 23 are very important for the complete growing of boys and girls, because to be top level athletes you need, is a general rule, between 8 and 10 years. So if you row these 4 years, is part of your progression. Stefano, he beat all records because after 60 years he has been able to win an Olympic medal, because 8 to 10 years is the minimum, and Stefano has made much faster this. And this is so the problem is to put the athletes in 8-10 years of preparation on high level. In Greece, they give maximum 8. After 8 years, everybody is leaving, and I start always from the beginning. I hope Stefano, not now with gold medal, he want to try longer, but he can tell you, Stefano, what you said to me before the Olympics. He said to me, Gianni, tell what you said to me.
If I don't have a medal, because in Greece, if you are taking a medal, this is one reason to go to the job, to have one job after that. And I told to Mr. Gianni, if I cannot take a medal, that was me, it was impossible to take it. After the Olympics, I stopped the rowing. So because I must see my future, because I want to have one job after that, not to do not have nothing, because in the rowing is one sport that we don't take it money for that. Only if you are taking one medal.
And Stefanos, I guess you were a full-time rower, so you had no time for study or anything else.
Yes. I don't have nothing. So I must stop rowing after the Tokyo if I don't have this medal, and to go to the university to study, to have one job after later.
So what has been the reaction in Greece to your gold medal? And so Stefano first, and then Gianni, how has this changed, or what's this done to your program? Stefano first.
Yes, and now with the gold medal, I find some sponsors, and after that I will be on one job, because to take a gold medal, it's something special. And now, yes, I have one job, and I can do the sports that I love, because I was made for this, and I liked very much the sport. So I didn't want to quit of that for that. And after that, there are some people that with a sponsor and all that I can do it the sport that I love, and I didn't quit and to go to the university to study something for now, because I must be in the training camp and to do the training for the next Olympics.
Franco has asked, Stefano, what is your plan for the future? More gold medals in Paris?
Yes, if everything was being great, yes, all this preparation, because in the rowing, this is a difficult sport, and we have maybe we have some injuries and some problems in the years. Never can knows what in 3 years, what can we do? But yes, we can go for a medal again, and we try again to have the gold.
Wow. So what has Stefano's result done for your job as the chief coach from the Greek program, Gianni?
Okay, from economical point of view, nothing, I can tell you, because imagine that Stefano, he said he stopped in 2017, but in reality, after 2016, the Greek Federation asked me if I can step out from the rowing because they want to try Greek way. So in 2017, they have only Greek coaches managing the national team. And I step out, and the president asked me if I can be an advisor. So after this year, they made some results, but not what the council was expecting. And at the meantime, they asked me to go back again. And they said, the president said, Gianni, there is only one problem. We must cut your salary. So imagine that from 2005 that I am in the Greek Federation, I was in the Greek Federation, I'm in the Greek Federation. In 2018, they make a huge reduction. I am getting less than 60% of that salary.
Wow.
So in this case, it's not a question of money, of course, but it's a question that I consider Greek rowing like my baby. And because they've never done these results before me. Okay, good rowers, some, but no so constant. And considering the numbers and considering the sites, because we have done, he has done, and many other athletes has done good results, in my opinion, with the normal sites. Until now, I hope they will come. We have never people over than 190. We have only one rower this year that is 198, but this rower has some problems. He's a good fighter, like all Greeks, and he has got a gold medal. He needs to grow, but he has very slow organs development. His brain is good, his body is big size, but he needs to continue to grow. The lungs, the heart, because training is not just to put the people on the boat and make a lot of kilometers, pull, and it's finished. You need to develop these people, and not just the muscles. For me, mostly what to develop is the heart. They must grow the cardiovascular system, the central nervous system. So all system of body, they must be developed with the program, and this is what we do. And any time, and many times the time there is not enough. So what I will get out? I hope that Stefan is happy, and this is my main target, that he's satisfied, and that many other athletes, they have enthusiasm for rowing, and this is great. And we had some problems in rowing, because some people complain, because I am an old coach. I understand that to be old in the sport, but in the level of culture, is a benefit, an extra, is not negative. Of course, if I am crazy and I do crazy things, this can be negative. But huge experience and knowing thousands of rowers, top level rowers, and producing a finalist for Olympics in the last 4 Olympic Games for Greece, something I know and something I transferring to them. So after this, Stefano shut up a lot of these voices, and these are the witness of the quality of what is happening in Greece. And I am happy for this. And I will try to support Stefano, especially, until Paris. But I say always to Stefano, to go to Paris, you don't start from the gold medal. You start from the heats. So it's not so easy to go back in the gold medal. So, and the responsibility of a gold medal is something that is tough. It's tough to sustain. So take it easy, be happy for this one, and fight with the same spirit of 4 years ago for the next one.
Wow. We have, that's great, Gianni. We have some questions from people watching. One, Martin Heinemann, congratulating you, Stefanos. And he talks about your catch. He says it seems very hard and fast. Did you experiment with the span, with the rigging in your boat to get your speed?
No. No. This catch, I have it. I must see some other issues to fix it in the boat, but I have this. I learned it, and I never forgot it. So it comes natural for me, this catch. So
one thing
yes.
I heard you talking about, Stefano, that Gianni was always talking about your legs, quicker legs, quicker legs. Could you explain?
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because if you press your legs very fast, you move your boat better and with not to put so much power. Because if you put so much power, after some meters, you cannot put this power. And if you catch your boat quickly and then you press your leg faster, you move your boat with not put so much power in the boat. So for me, it was very easy to do it like this because I didn't spend so much energy in my body.
Yeah. And another question from Dra Fredenreich. Do you think that coming from a lightweight rowing helped you in terms of technique and stroke rate? I guess the idea that lightweights maybe they do more strokes per minute than heavyweights.
Okay.
Yes, for me, I don't think so because and in the lightweight and in the heavyweight, in the lightweight when I was, I didn't feel so good because I told you before,
Yeah.
with to lose so much weight, you don't have this power, for example, to do one variation in the middle. Or I try and I try to go until the 2000 meters stable and to put all this power because I didn't have the power. Now that I'm heavyweight, I have, for example, I feel my body very well. I don't have some problems that I don't have energy and from the food and from the drink. And I feel that my stroke rate, it was like the lightweight and maybe is better because in the single, this period when 2015, 2016 that I go, I cannot do it maximum 33, 34 strokes. And now in the heavyweight, I go 37, 38.
Wow. Gianni, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to say that first of all, the number of strokes do not really depends from the category because also the seniors they go very high stroke rate mostly in all boats. We have seen in some seniors in single they go also 38, 39. So the problem of strokes is not a limitation for big people and for small people. What I think is important for lightweights that are passing is the load, how they can maintain the load. So the rigging, for me, is very important for lightweight that are passing seniors, because especially if they are not huge. So I had this many years ago also lightweights of 190, 192, and I must manage the rigging for the very tall people because they were rowing with athletes of 180, 175. So it was, and I prepared many years the 8. So it's quite complicated with a lightweight category to manage so big people. But for sure, the lightweights, they should speak with their coaches to find the right rigging, because the rigging is important. It is not important to feel heavy the boat, but it's important to move well the boat in high speed, because to feel the strength, in my opinion, is not the right feeling. Stefano, he has one quality: he never put strength in his movement. If you see him, you see his technique is light in his way, not because he's lightweight. He's light because his style is light. And for me, at the beginning, it was a bit difficult to understand how fast he was in single, because my opinion, he was not pulling too much, because I want to see more strength expression, because all these seniors in single, they use huge power. Ziedler, for me, is a meet in 2019. I like him much. His destiny was to have the gold medal in Tokyo. Honestly, no one should beat him. We know that he has big risk for the waves, but he should be the gold medalist because he has everything: the body, the size, the mentality, the support, the federation, everything was with him. And with Stefano was nothing for him, because he has a not strong federation, not economical support, difficult to make training camps. We manage day by day. I think there is a huge history behind his results. But for sure, there are many lightweights with this strong motivation, because what I recognize in the lightweights is the huge motivation. They have a strong will, because if we measure the athletes not from the sides of a body, but from the sides of their psychological sides, I can tell you there are a lot of talented lightweights, huge number of talented rowers. But they need the right rigging. They need the right preparation for their qualities. So I suggest to the lightweights, don't row like heavyweight. Row as a lightweight, moving well the boat. Important, don't put a lot of strength, but move the boat fast. So the question is strength again versus speed and velocity. This is the point. And what you can do in this field, I think the lightweights, they have a lot of opportunity. They can, but they must be focused on the speed, not on strength.
Franco asked Gianni, do you remember what Stefanos was rigging? Can you tell us how long his oars were and the span?
Stefano, tell him.
About the rigging, my spread and all that. My spread, it is 159, and my oars, it's a fat oars, 283 with 87 and a half. Yes.
Well, yeah. That's fantastic. Stefano, what has been the reaction in Greece since you have returned? Have you been on television? Are you now a star in Greece? What has it been like?
Yes, it was a little bit difficult to manage it, because I have a lot of interviews and in the canals and all that. I go to the television some, because I cannot manage it all that. I haven't one manager that we reduce all this because we cannot. It was not easy to do it, because all of the television, you want him to explain and to go there, but it's a little bit difficult to go in all these interviews, because we must do in the training. So we manage it a little bit, but yes, the people, they like it, and but the difficult in Greece is that they remember you only when you are take one medal in the Olympics, for example. This is the bad, because they didn't show in the people about rowing. They She always in the track and field,
Yeah.
football, basketball, and the people didn't know about that. So yes, now they feel well, but I don't know if they in the television they want to see and the others and the World Championship and the European that is very good for the people to see in other sports, not only the sports that they show every day.
Yeah. And what have your fellow athletes, the guys like Chetel Borsch or Sverri Nielsen or Damir Martin, what has been their reaction to your success? Have you had much communication?
Yes, a little bit. I think they didn't expect this because we raced in some races before and they believe that I cannot do it until the end. This. So yes, but they told me that, and Damir, that is very good guy. They told me in the semi-final, "You are on fire, man!" Like that to the final. But yes, they are very good guys and very good people.
And I guess you're looking forward to racing those guys again in the next season.
Yes, yes, I like that, and I think it's very very good guys and with a lot of experience and. Yes, I want to raise them again.
Thank you, Gianni. I haven't had a chance much to ask you. I know you work with some other teams as a consultant, the Lithuanian team and also the Russian team. I think earlier in the year. How do you manage to work with different teams? How do you manage to balance?
Okay, it's not easy because each groups they want to have their time and their how to say their specific activity. First of all, especially with the Russians and also with other teams, I help coaches. They are working with these teams, and with the Russians there is one specific coach that is Mykolas Masilionis, that he was working in Lithuania before, that I think is, as we find the talent in the rower, I think there are talent of coaches too. And in my opinion, Mykolas is one talent coach. And the people, they think that all coaches are the same, and this is not true. There are really champions coaches, like the same with athletes. The only difference is that the coaches, they can be old also like me for many years, and they continue to increase, not just professionally, because they love coaching. And so I help these young coaches. Many years ago, I helped also Roger Barrow from South Africa. In 2012, we worked together. So I think I am the talent scout of these young coaches, and I support them a lot. And of course, I have also contact with athletes of these coaches. And in Russia, I had some to say support of Mykolas. Also, I had some meeting with athletes. And I think I put all my experience of now 40 years of international rowing. And it works. It works well with these people. And I can tell you, I was not so convinced to help the Russians. But at the end, I say it's better to support, to help people that they have no ideas of what is rowing in 2000. Because these people, they are fixed to rowing of the 1960s, 70s, where was another situation, totally different. And rowing is changing, continue to change rowing. And in some countries, they don't understand this. They think rowing is just to row over 2,000 meters and everything the same. No, this sport is growing, is changing, and it's not just because we have coastal or indoor. The classic rowing is changing. The numbers of rowers, they they are less, they create new situations. COVID create new situations. So we coaches, we must be ready for this adjustment. Some countries like the Russians, they don't speak well English, they don't communicate well, and they don't understand what is going on. So I think it was important that somebody say to them how to work well, how to organize their job, how to organize their technique. So because for me, there are good persons everywhere in all rowing. I think rowing is a family, and we must think like a family. Of course, in all family there are good and bad people, but we cannot say all people in one country are bad, because I know very well what they speak about my town. I am from Napoli. For me, Napoli is the most beautiful town in the world, and we have a lot of positive things. We have great artists in music, in cinema, painting, musicians. We have one of the best school of music in Europe, and our kingdom, because Napoli was the capital of one kingdom. In our town, we have 4 royal palaces. We have 2 fortresses in our town. So we have something huge, and the Romans, there was a holiday town. So we have a lot of things, and we have also a lot of people that they have good quality as well. In other countries, they have also bad people. But this country, there is a stereotype, Napolitans. I remember Thor Nielsen, when I was in Piriluco, he called me, you are Napolitan. Just want to say you are, one person that comes from one town. And I demonstrated to him and many other people that you can be Napolitan, but to be good at the same time. And there are many like me in this town. And the main people of a national team in Italy are from my town. They are not just Italian, they are from Napoli. And because we have a special mentality where we adapt in all situation, because when you are in tough environment, you must get used to adapt yourself. So for me, stress doesn't mean nothing. Stress is just one situation that I know I must pass, because we grow in the stress and we are so well trained that we will never be depressed for stress. So I say we must help people that they don't have the knowledge. We must teach the people how to work well and how to come in the rowing family. And who make mistakes must be kicked out, because I don't think in any country should be accepted the people that they don't follow the rules. For me, the rules in sport or like rowing in all sports is the base. If you are in the rules, like with Stefano, you will get everything is necessary to have. But when you go out of the rules, it's not just a suspension. You should be out of the national team for the rest of your life, because you don't have the fair play, the sport mentality. I think, and Stefano knows very well, I teach them how to be sportmen, not just rowers with a tough program. I want that they have good mentality, they are positive people, and good examples. Because when people do something bad, it's not just for themselves, they are bad example for their country. I try my best on this area, and I know that I am a dreamer, but sometimes to dream can be, you can realize the dream. And Stefano is one of my dream realized because somebody can say, Gianni, it's not possible to have a gold medal in Greece. Now Stefano, he demonstrated that it's possible.
Wow. We've been talking for over an hour and 15 minutes. It's been fantastic. Stefano, the last question to you. When you look back now on 2021, do you have what one memory do you have? What is your strongest memory of the year that you have that maybe you keep thinking of, comes to mind?
The most of them is the qualification regatta.
No.
Because I wanted so much to go to the Olympics in the single sculls. So I dreamed this day 2 years before, that when
Really?
I didn't take, yes, in the Linz in 2019 that I didn't take the qualification for Tokyo. After that, 2 years, and 20 and 21 from the coronavirus pandemic, I dreamed this day to take the ticket to go to the Olympic Games in Tokyo in single scull, in the heavyweight.
Wow, that's a really interesting answer. Stefanos and Gianni, it's been fantastic to listen to you both. And you are both amazing people in the sport of rowing. Stefanos, your race gave so much pleasure to so many people. It was so exciting to see you win that championship, and very good for the sport of rowing to have a new name at the top on the sport of rowing. And I know some people have been watching are so excited that you are the Olympic champion, and look forward to seeing your racing in the future.
Thank you. Yes.
So we will end the live part of this interview now. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.